Welcome, Lords and Ladies of Fate. In this stream, we play various tabletop role-playing games as you, the audience, earn fate chips that can be used to reward or punish your favorite players or the characters. You can earn fate chips by just watching, following, hosting, subscribing, or just contributing to the game. You can then use those fate chips to heal characters or adjust their next skill checks, force them to say silly lines, and then reward or punish them by affecting their experience points. Tonight we're playing Rifts by Palladium Books. If you're unfamiliar with Rifts, it's a futuristic version of Earth where war and natural disasters have devastated the Earth's population. Then magic ley lines that crisscross the Earth ripped open rifts to other dimensions in time and space, allowing all manner of creatures and beings to repopulate the planet. Tonight, we are joined by Bill, who is playing Demetrius. We have Chance, who will be playing Felix.
Moo.
Myself will be playing as Illustra Craft. And then we'll have a new player, Michael, who's joining us as Rembrandt Brown. And then hopefully April will be joining us shortly, picking up her character as Sophia. But to mitigate the will of the fates, we have Julian as our GM.
Hello, everybody, once again. Welcome. We are in the settlement of Rooster, a little bit northeast of Laszlo, the city that most of you, except for Michael, of course, has journeyed from to go to Mad Haven and get research notes and other such things from some professor, pre-cataclysm professor named Professor Killian. On their way, they have found various beings. They found a ring of minotaurs who apparently took slaves and sold them to the Spookoff. That went very well. You fought them and saved the slaves. Some of these slaves seem to be settlers from Rooster, a small settlement that could help you rest and give you some food on your way. When you got there, however, it wasn't so peaceful. Apparently, the city had been invaded by glowing brains, who had mind-controlled the people in the settlement to act like people in banks, trying to make transactions which didn't really exist. You snuck into the bank, past these money zombies, and found that the person behind this was a 16-year-old girl, the daughter of the chief of the settlement, who apparently had made some deal with an alien intelligence. A very polite and well-dressed alien intelligence, but an alien intelligence nonetheless. And also had summoned some sort of tentacle demon, well, not demon, but a tentacle being that Illustra had some trouble with until Felix came along and shot it quite a lot. Oh yes. It died from arrows. Particularly one arrow that was quite a shot. And once you had defeated this being, the young lady made some sort of magical vortex that Demetrius redirected with his rift powers. So a dinosaur in Chicago had to die. It became a dinosaur story, but that's not your problem, really, when you get right down to it. The young lady disappeared, and you saved the slaves, not the slaves, the settlers, from being sacrificed, and helped them get back on their feet. Did some repairs, did some healing, did some drinking with the chief, who found out that her daughter was a homicidal maniac, and that affected her somewhat, really. Apart from that, Illustra also discovered that she is not as defenseless as she might have thought. While fighting this young woman, she apparently attracted quite a lot of magic energy from her. So much that it kinda just made you tingle all over, that you knew that this was within your grasp. 3 days have passed in the settlement of Rooster. The settlers are sad to see you go, but you must get on. If for no other reason that Dr. Forsyth is getting antsy. Dr. Forsyth is the scientist that these dear people needs to get to Mad Haven. And Lenny is also a bit bored. Lenny is a talking heart. So you proceed eastward, and you happen to know, mainly because of a conversation with a lizard mage, that you are heading into a magical area, a forest with quite a lot of fairies, apparently. On the ancient map given to Demetrius, it says that the area is called Sicarus, but it's probably not called that anymore. We change the camera a bit while you're driving with Lenny and Dr. Forsyth, who's very antsy, to a different part of this forest, where a very confused young gentleman is trying to find his way north, where he has heard there's quite a big settlement where people might tell him how to get home. They know something about these rifts, apparently, in this town called Laszlo. The problem is that the entire way has been fraught with weird monsters that you've never seen, not even in your home dimension, and you've seen quite some few monsters. These look more demonic than most of what you see. And you have spent your time mainly fighting, running, hiding your way to this forest, which is quite odd, really. I am gonna reveal a picture in Roll20 so you can all see what you're headed into. That was the wrong button. This is the right button.
Pretty. I mean, don't talk to the fake creatures, but pretty.
Oh, sorry.
I was saying, that's pretty. Don't talk to the fake creatures, but that's pretty.
Looks cozy-ish. Rembrandt, you have never seen anything like this before. It's quite a labyrinth of greenery and weird plants that does not look like you want to befriend them, even though they try to befriend you. This is not really normal on your home planet. And you are constantly pestered by these small creatures with very colorful wings, trying to steal your stuff.
Shoot, go away. Get out of here.
You pretty much find yourself in a situation that resembles you in a swamp filled with mosquitoes. These just don't sting, but actually grab stuff from you. And tempers are running high after you probably try to be reasonable, I guess, for some time. But you actually hit one of them at some point, which makes them very, very angry. And casts all sorts of weird spells.
Oh no. I'm sorry, it was an accident. Let's work this out.
Could you please roll me a percentile dice?
Sure. Uh-huh.
Ooh. Intriguing.
Is that not good? I have snacks. Can I bribe?
well, at this point, you're getting into this weird dancing movement as they are spitting weird web stuff at you, and you feel like they're trying to, well, in their own way, be your friend. You become sort of entranced with dancing with these small fake creatures, and forget pretty much where you are, how you are, who you are. But apparently you're very good at ballet.
Excellent. I mean, that's all that matters, right? The performance. Okay, so maybe I'm making.
Who would have thought?
Maybe I'm making friends. Win and roll.
Meanwhile, as Lenny approaches this wilderness, you all feel, well, most of you have powers that can feel this, feel the presence of great magic. So much magic that you have no idea what kind of magic it is, because there's just too much of it. You also notice that Lenny is gonna have a hard time navigating in this forest. He's quite a big car.
I guess we don't have to go through. We just have to get this. Wait a minute. What did I need? I needed to get.
Do a land nav to find if we can drive around.
Or we get
Well, Illustra did have something
Yeah,
to do
I just
with
needed
it.
to get some food, right? That's all it was.
Yeah, we need to get some fairy food. And Sophia would be helpful in this in this situation.
Oh, well, I mean, then
Is she fairy food? Not yet.
we can park Lenny and cover him up with some brush and go forth on foot to find.
Just a slight detour. That's all.
Yeah, let's camo Lenny, and should we leave anybody there to watch over Lenny, or?
We leave the professor there. Probably don't want to
This-
endanger him.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean, it is a fairy forest. It does seem really interesting. Are you sure I shouldn't go?
There's my camouflage
I
roll.
mean, it's fairies. I don't know what could go wrong. I mean, aren't they supposed to be sweet and helpful?
That's what I heard. I mean, if I could ask them questions. So many questions.
Well, write down the questions, and if we come across fairies, we'll ask them.
I guess you're right then. He begins compiling quite a lot of questions.
I thought as much. All right, so how about ley lines and those kind of things? Where are the ley lines? Are they nearby, within a mile or so?
The ley lines are a bit of a weird one in this case. There are ley lines in this forest, in this very big forest that you cannot really see the end of. They don't seem to be straight lines. They seem to be more curly and twisty.
Okay.
You've never seen this phenomenon, Demetrius, which is kind of odd, really. Do you have law magic, any of you? If you do, you are quite welcome to make me a law magic roll.
I do.
Does lore animals and cattle count?
No, no. Actually, if you had some sort of clans, that might do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Actually, quite
Yeah.
fitting. What about Demetrius?
Demetrius is. All right, we're looking for the skills. There they are. I have demons and monsters. I have DBs. That's about all I can see. Yeah, I'm afraid that Sophia is probably the one with the skill that we need here.
Well, let's just go with Illustra's very good success. It is actually kind of fitting, because there are probably quite a lot of enchanted forests where you're from.
Like every other one.
And you know, yeah, pretty much, you have one in your garden. It's a pretty nice one. You know that they tend to follow no rules except their own, really. They have sort of a narrative feel to them. If they think you're kind of the main character of a story, they tend to help you. You also know that magic is more or less everywhere in these places. It's not like it's following lines. It's infused in the area, in the animals, in the trees, in the waterways. So it's kind of like the land has just absorbed the massive amount of ley lines and nexuses in the area. This, of course, means that if you are able to draw upon ley lines, you are counting as standing on a ley line wherever you go, unless I say otherwise.
Okay.
Of course, Illustra, you do know that enchanted forests tend to come in two varieties. The dark kind and the light kind.
Oh, what does this one look like?
You're not exactly sure. You haven't seen inhabitants yet.
Okay, well, I will share as much of this non-meta information as possible with my team.
Go.
I mean, it looks kind of nice, but we'll have to see what actually lives here. But he said fairies, so, so it's probably all right.
I'll walk in the front, brazen, unarmed.
Well, you're never really unarmed, let's face it. And the rest of you follow in? Well, except for the ballet dancer, who we'll get to in a minute.
I know you said ballet dancer, but I swear I just heard belly dancer, and that's my new headcanon.
Later, much later.
That's the after-hour show.
That's a different role.
That's the Dark Forest, got it.
But yes, you head into this forest, and you very swiftly notice that there is no real, what should we call it, paths as such. It's more like caverns of green. It's like it's twisting in upon itself so that you rarely see the sky from where you are. Every now and then you are apparently high enough that you take your head over a tree panoply. But most of the time it just kind of feels like you're in, well, a cave of trees.
You know what? Just for good measure, I think I'm gonna go fox form. Normal-sized fox form.
Do you have any smell-related powers? I seem to remember you having some of those.
I can sense psychic energy, sense magic energy, sense supernatural beings as equivalents to a dog boy's capability at it.
There's all of those.
There's all of those. Yes, across the board.
Yes, without rolling. Just yes. But no, I'm more mundane smell powers.
I have extremely keen senses.
Excellent. Then you are quite confused as a cornucopia of smells hit you. There shouldn't be this many smells at the same time in any sort of nature place, but would you roll me a Save versus Toxins, please?
And I have a +1. / roll 1d20 +1. 13.
That is not enough because it's non-lethal. You begin to feel more calm. Not a lot, really. But just it seems like a pleasant place. Nothing's gonna hurt you, really. It's really quite nice now to come to think of it. Again, nothing deliberating. You can think for yourself. It's not into mind control territory, but a little bit more calm than you would usually be at this point.
Just, taking a toke, we're good.
And then you all begin to hear, well, there's rustling in the leaves all over the place, but all of a sudden the rustling sort of turns into music?
I will dart out towards the music.
You dart out toward a leaf that is very surprised to see you and hide behind the tree.
Do a quick lap around the tree and then keep going around. Keep looking.
Chasing a leaf, apparently. You've never seen a leaf with legs. Running around. Kind of Smurf-side. The music seems kind of very, very gentle music, really. None of you really probably knows it. It seems like it's string instruments mainly. You get a sense of a dawn as violins play in the trees. And you all see a silhouette amongst the greenery, jumping from treetop to treetop, down in the leafy greens. Very agile being, in a long coat. He's standing on one foot in a position of grace.
Trot over towards him, mimic.
He doesn't look the type to be dancing, really. More gruff in appearance, I would say. He does seem to have a tremendous amount of fun.
Trot over to him, mimic in fox as much as a fox form can.
Now, a fox is also trying to dance ballet.
Demetrius,
Demetrius, do you do anything? Sorry, Demetrius.
Yeah, I think Demetrius would be a little concerned seeing everybody just trotting into dance. By the way, Sophia now knows whatever these are probably are fairies.
I'm going to begin to dance myself.
Fair enough, fair enough. You have the dance skill, don't you?
I have the singing skill. I don't think I have dance.
Yeah, I've got both of those. Yeah, would my karmic power be kicked in at this point?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Are you about to outperform me? Is that what's going on? I mean, this is my dance, and they're going to come and get jiggy with it like that. All right.
I for
The fox
sure
starts twerking.
It's a dance-off.
Oh, no. I'm not nearly as good.
You try to follow these very nice dance moves. For some reason, you in your head he should be wearing a tutu. For some reason, but he's just so graceful that you can't follow it. He outdances you with ease.
Sorry, it's my
I just got
Especially with
served.
that armor on. He has plates everywhere, and it seems heavy for a guy who just jumps around like he's an elf from a Tolkien story.
I'm John Travolta too. I'm staying alive right here, baby.
Doing dance move and jazz hands and everything.
Throwing it in there.
It's very impressive.
Well, try to outperform me.
I was just trying to enjoy in the moment.
Oh, please come in. Have fun. The music is great.
Even though my dance is not great, I'm going to continue it. I'm committed now, so.
And the fox is kind of bouncing in between them, doing random fox-like dance moves.
And Sophia and Demetrius are just struck dumb.
Out of their element.
I'm being quite foxy.
So is the ferret,
Ferals.
by the way, who's looking between you two Atlanteans. You have a strange idea that it wants you to help its friend to behave normally again.
I lean over Demetrius to Sophia, and Sophia whispers, they seem to be under the influence of elves or fairies. Is this a psychic attack or is this a magical attack?
You don't rightly know. Can you sense magic in use?
Yes, both of us can.
Then you can see that the only one who's under any sort of magical spell that's not normal, I mean, chance is always magical, is the young man apparently doing a fantastic twirl at this moment. He is under some sort of cursey spell.
All right. Sophia has newly recognized her abilities to exorcise spirits and such. She can also be very commune with spirits as well. She just acquired these through her next level.
Doesn't seem like he's possessed. It's more like, well, sort of like a spell has been put on him, really.
Okay, so it's more like a spell. Let's see.
Illustra seems to be dancing out of her own free will, and so is Felix.
Why aren't your friends dancing? They don't like the music?
The ferret kind of gives up with trying to get the Atlanteans to do anything and goes with the flow and tries to dance too.
Yeah.
Going.
The fox and the ferret are dancing. The ferret is like 5 times bigger than the fox.
It's animal dance.
Right.
So since the Atlanteans seem to be the ones actually thinking about the situations, do they want to do something about this?
Not sure what to do at this moment. It just seems like everybody's having a good time. So we're going to relax and see where this goes. But we are on, let's say, on guard just in case.
Fair enough. You sit down and wait while your friend is dancing around your newfound. Well, friend, probably. He seems like a nice guy. He does every now and then grabs a hold of Illustra and twirls her around too, which apparently makes you a very good dancer in these moments, Illustra, for some reason. Every time you do this, however, Rembrandt, you get a small second of yourself. A small second of freedom, you might say.
What's going on here? I don't dance.
No, your
Who are
actions
you
say
guys?
otherwise. Quite lovely dancer.
It's these things. They're buzzed around me, and I guess I ticked them off. I don't know. Couldn't get away from them. Next thing you know, I'm dancing with them.
I will start following towards what may or may not be the scent of these creatures. I can give you a roll for it if you need me to, but I'm still dancing my way that way.
Yeah, but you don't really know which creatures to follow at this moment. But do give me a scent tracking scent for different reasons while you're still dancing.
Tracking, sense psychic, sense supernatural. Okay.
Tracking. Rembrandt and Illustra is having this conversation while twirling around, by the way.
I also have a save for magic, like a +4. Can I do a roll maybe to retain some of my will?
Not at this moment, no, but you do seem to sense that you are getting closer to your own self, mainly because you're close to this young lady who's dancing with you.
Ah, okay. Well, I want to stay.
That seems to work. She's a magic dancer.
She's a dancer.
A dancing queen, if you will.
Yes, Chance, you succeeded.
Just a princess.
There is one smell that stands apart from the rest of the smells. Most of the smells are flowers, small critters, and their leavings, which is not nice but natural. There is this trace of putrid mixed in. Not all around, but here and there. And funnily enough, where you can smell this putridness, there's very few critters around.
I will go and investigate.
While they are dancing?
I'm going to dance my way towards it. Now, if I get like out of sight or something, I'll probably stop, but...
Well, it doesn't take long until you get out of sight in these tunnely forests, but you can look ahead. You don't really see anything yet, unless you travel a bit on.
Traveling towards the smell.
Yep. You, well, Demetrius and Sophia notices that Felix is scouting forwards. Well, all of you notice, really, but Rembrandt and Illustra apparently busy.
Well, I tell Lustria that I think I can maintain my wits if I'm standing next to you. For some reason you're helping.
Okay, I will. I'll stop dancing and just go stand next to him, and kind of just give him like a look over and like see if like I can visually tell if there's anything wrong with him.
Shaking my head, trying to think clear again.
You do notice he looks kind of exhausted. He has apparently been dancing for some time. He also seems to be worse for wear. He hasn't been careful about what he's danced into, so there's a lot of twigs and leaves sticking out everywhere. His coat seems to be scruffed, but not hurt. So does his clothing. And you do notice that apparently at some point he's danced past something that's stuck onto his hair, and hanging a bit from down from his helmet is a brush, apparently. A whalebone brush.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna kind of pull that up. Is this yours? Did you lose this?
No, I've never seen that. Must have been those creatures again. Have you seen them around?
What do they look like?
They're small. They're kind of like mosquitoes. They're just buzzing around. They seem to have an intelligence, but they just couldn't describe what they were trying to convey. I don't know. I didn't get what their message was, and they just kept attacking me.
Attacking you? Attacking you how?
Just gnawing at me, keeping me from my focus, throwing me off my balance, just distracting and a nuisance.
Yeah, that sounds like that might be what we're looking for. But no, we haven't seen him yet. Maybe our little fox friend's looking for him right now. Let's follow him, but stay close.
In the meantime, Felix, hello, bro. You are going towards the smell.
I am. Yep.
And you're getting into a darker part of the forest. You can still hear your friends talking, mainly because they're not trying to be quiet. So you do know where you are in comparison. And you notice the source of the putridness seems to be eggshells?
Eggshells.
Black eggshells covered in mossy, rotting substance.
Lore demons and monsters.
You can try.
There you go.
Made it by 26.
You're not exactly sure, but you've heard something about this before. Something about creatures apparently infecting animals and humans.
Well, this is not cool with the spirit
Putting
realm.
them into
We'd like things to be natural and in balance.
They put them into these cocoons, sort of eggs, and it transforms them into creatures of darkness, really. Zombie-like eaters of life. You don't know much about the creature that does this. No one you know has ever seen one. You do know that the stories you've heard is from the northern and eastern parts. But since you haven't been there yourself, you don't really know. But a name has been going around with these myths. Which would help if I could have a Death Springer.
So I will return back to the group as a Native American, as a man.
You return and you notice that apparently the dance seems to be over every now and then. Michael, you do see the sense your feet is trying to move. But as long as you stay near Illustra, it seems to be calming down.
All right, I continue. Stick next to her.
Don't worry, I'll keep you safe.
Something.
I introduced myself, by the way. My name is Rembrandt Brown.
Oh, remember, I'm Illustra Craft.
Felix.
Felix. Where's that fox that was here? Was that in my imagination, or?
Felix.
Oh, okay. Shape changer.
Something's rotten in the forest of Denmark. I found shells. Cocoon-like things. I think we have death springers on our hands. We need to cleanse this place before we leave.
Sophia also rolled for her demons and monsters when he said Death Springers, and it was a success. I just put the wrong button in.
Then, April, you've heard the same stories that there's a creature that kind of infects humans and animals to become zombie-like beings. And they cocoon from these shells that are kind of egg-like, but you don't know a lot about the creature itself.
Okay, so yeah, we need to cleanse this. That sounds good. Where do we start?
Maybe the spirits can help
Yep,
us.
you found-
Let's, many places like this is kind of a little bit of a place of power. There's probably some spirits here. I think I will, go into a little bit of a cross my legs meditation type and see if I can connect with some spirits, assuming I can continue without stuttering.
Sophia can do the same thing now. She communes with spirits as well. She can even see Indian spirits.
April, Sophia has begun to notice that around Felix is usually a fox going around. Very relaxed, chilling out, leaning up against walls, every now and then having a cigarette.
Hey.
Interesting fox. Yeah, she's telling Demetrius. I see people and fuck.
So this is like Ouija.
I see smoking.
So
Menthol
Felix is sitting there like
cigarettes.
Ouija board style. Spirits, can you hear me?
They can keep on.
Do you have a percentile or something like that?
No, it's just I can speak with them.
Then you just try to attune yourself. Okay,
Use the
fair
power
enough.
a psychic can feel and not see the presence of spirits. The term spirit includes entities, including ghosts and possessing ones, invisible astral travelers and beings, and splintered life essence of a god or alien intelligence, the mysterious Indian spirits, a spirit or demon or god possessing a familiar or a witch, and imprisoned souls and life essences in rune weapons and similar magical prisons. The psychic can ask the spirit questions by speaking aloud, although the creature often understands the question on an empathic or intuitive level. Only the psychic hears the answer. It's important to note the spirit is under no obligation to answer truthfully or at all, etc., etc. But it's just, I ask a question,
Yeah,
and a spirit can decide to answer any which way that they want.
Well, you center yourself, go into a trance, and the outside world kind of disappears from your senses as you try to focus on the other world. And it's very quiet. Much more quiet than you would both like and think in a place like this, full of life. But then you do hear a voice. Hard to determine which gender or which creature. And it simply says, "You remind me of the man.
What man?
Man with the power.
What power?
Power of
Voodoo.
voodoo.
What?
Voodoo. Remind me of the man." And then it disappears.
Okay, I'm back. All right. Well, I'll continue trying to communicate for a few minutes more, even if there's no actual response.
There is this presence that seems to be lurking. The one talking to you, talked. It doesn't say anymore. And you do still sense its presence, but it seems to be not hiding, more waiting.
All right. I'll let the party know that there is a surprising lack of spirits here, but there's at least one lurking around somewhere.
Oh, did it say anything?
And try to ask.
He said that I reminded him of the man that had the power of the voodoo.
Ask him about the fox.
Voodoo.
Poo poo.
What's a voodoo?
So, interesting enough. Have you guys seen these little critters before? Is this a new thing, or is it?
I haven't seen these little critters yet. No.
I haven't seen anything.
I want to. Could I do a wilderness survival and see if I can do like a spot hidden within the trees, bushes, and stuff?
Well, you can do me if you have to take concealment, or either way. Otherwise, you can do me a perception check.
I don't have a concealment, but how do I?
A perception. That's a D20, and you do you have what's your IQ?
15.
I don't remember. Oh, then you don't have a bonus. It's just a
Okay.
straight out D20.
Let me try that, please. Uh-huh. I rolled a 2.
No, you don't really notice anything. It is rather a thick forest, so there is plenty of hiding places, and they were quite small. But you notice nothing. Every now and then you see some leaves moving, and you think it's but no.
So I just realized that I have fairy lore specifically.
Yep.
Can I use that to figure out any way to maybe bring them out?
Well, give me a roll for several reasons. Oh.
Sophia also has fairy lore though, so she can roll.
She can also roll.
Yeah.
And yes, Rembrandt, you can use X-ray vision. The problem is that you see more trees, basically, because there's just more tunnels of wood. You do notice that the place that Felix was coming back from has these sort of weird shells he was talking about.
So she rolled under hers as well. Just not very good at just typing out.
Yeah. Isn't a 21 enough?
Yeah, 21 is enough. It's just that I clicked the wrong button.
Cool.
You look greater than.
Well, Sophia, you do know that fairies are, playful creatures. Their idea of playfulness is rather different from most mortal beings. They don't really understand why we don't like to hurt, for example. And this death business, they don't really see the big deal when it comes to it. They do like candy. Quite a lot. Sugar is the way to a fairy's
All I have
heart.
is beef jerky.
Any fairy.
I have a Snickers bar.
Oh, there we go.
You're not you and your hungry spirits.
I got sugar gummies.
You do also know a couple of other things. First of all, this place is perfect for them. It's probably not the fairies who made this forest like it is, because they're not that powerful, or for that matter, have the patience to make anything lasting. But once they've seen this place, they would have swarmed it and just stayed here. Except for the area you are in at this moment, which seems rather free of both animals and fairies. You know kind of how to spot them, and you don't think any of them is around at this particular point, which seems kind of odd in a forest like this.
Maybe we should move back towards where we were dancing? Will we have better luck, maybe?
I thought we were still kind of in that clearing where we were dancing, that I had gone out and then just came back.
Oh yeah, it's not far
Yeah.
from there.
Okay.
A couple of 100 meters.
They must have left us, or we need to get back away from this stuff before they'll come around.
Sure, okay. Head a little bit towards the nice, glowing, mossier parts.
Away from the shelly
Away
parts.
from the shelly parts.
Yeah.
Well, you wander a bit further into the forest. It's a bit hard to try to find out what's away from the shelly parts in that it's tunnels that goes every which way. The putrid smell does help, but you also notice as you pass some of the putridness that there's points where there's quite a lot of it. And at those points, you all notice movement within those brushes.
Can I scan the area? See what I see?
Oh, yes. Do you
I
use
do.
your X-ray vision? Then you notice shambling beings, almost melted into the trees and the marshes. I will reveal the nature of this creature on roll 20. Well, not the nature, but a picture of it.
How many do I see?
You know what's cleansing?
3 at this point.
Oh, I don't think these are the good kind.
Fire is quite cleansing. It
Yes.
helps out in nature to
They
clear the
don't seem to
underbrush.
be. They don't seem to be doing a lot other than just hanging around a bit.
Well, what was the number? How many am I seeing? 3?
3. Oh,
So I let my crew know. I'm seeing something odd over there. And I point to the direction. I say there's about 3 of them, and they're kind of blended into the tree.
Take a look over. Can I see anything odd on the tree?
no, but you do feel the presence he's talking about, mainly because it's not directly at the tunnel you're at. He's using X-ray vision, so it's a couple of tunnels ahead. But you do sense the presence.
Is it the same presence I was feeling earlier that spoke to me?
No, most definitely
Okay.
not.
Does this
This is much more to do with the smell of rot and the shells, so to speak.
we could cheat. Thoughts?
The fox kind of looks up at you, lights its cigarette. Sure, why not? Seems like the right thing to do. But you have to go near them first. Again, you are a good way away
Yeah,
from
I'll start moving towards them. Trying to get at least line of sight. Maybe not to get super close, but to get line of sight.
Demetrius sees him pull out the bow, then he's going to pull out his pistol.
I'm gonna pull out my pistol as well.
Are we sure they're hostile?
Nope.
Maybe we should just say
Wait.
hi first.
Yes.
We're not sure yet, but we're going to be ready in case they
The
aren't.
fairies aren't hostile, but the fairies don't go where the putrid stuff is. Putrid stuff
Yeah.
bad. Need to cleanse it of this forest, that the way the fairies can go back to roaming and playing.
She could try see. Sophia wants to see aura. Will she be able to see the auras of these things?
Again, she needs to get closer because the walls of trees will also have auras, so you will see those instead, Sophia. Which will probably also tell you something, to be honest. If you want to do that.
Yes, she wants to do that.
Cool.
Yes, I want to do that.
All right.
April, you notice something very special and kind of beautiful when you watch the auras of the trees. Well, I say auras, that's wrong. It's one aura. The entire forest is a living being.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
The first thing that hits you is this place is old. Way older than civilization on this planet.
Hmm.
And you also sense a sort of peace from it. It's happy where it is, so to speak. It's very magical, by the way, in case you were wondering about that. Seems kind of obvious, but there is quite a lot of magic energy in this forest. But you also see that the direction that Rembrandt is pointing seems to have small patches of illness attached to the forest.
Illness meaning that there's probably something infecting or affecting it in a negative way.
So I turn around and I tell everybody what I feel and what I see, that everything seems to be kind of a living being, very peaceful, and something doesn't fit right here.
Time for us to cut it out or burn it out. Burning is pretty cleansing. We want the forest to be healthy again.
So,
Maybe it's stuck. Maybe it needs help getting out of here.
Soon.
If it
stops
is
you
a
from,
Death Springer, they are infectious creatures of darkness that infect everything they touch. People, plants, animals, everything.
I have impervious to poisons and toxins.
Yeah, that only works on yourself.
Oh yeah, I see that one.
Well,
She's gonna, yeah, well, I would still use it. It only takes 4 ISP.
No, definitely a good idea to
Yeah.
activate it. Which reminds me, by the way, who is wearing environmental armor at this point?
what was I wearing?
I don't think any of us wear environmental armor.
I'm in the Plastic Man. I can't remember if that's...
Oh, Plastic Man's environmental.
environmental.
Yep.
Then I would like you all, except for Illustra, of course, to make me a safe versus toxins. Difficulty 16 because it's non-lethal.
Negator Ghost Rider.
She's down with toxins, so would it matter for her?
Sorry, April, you are quite immune and don't need to roll this.
Aren't I invulnerable to that?
You take half effect from toxins and such, so still make a roll.
My character just really likes getting, possessed and drugged and all sorts of things.
It's peyote, man.
If a bad thing goes in front of me, I can punch it. If they don't look like a bad thing, no, I'm gonna dance. Because we can dance if we want to. We can leave our friends behind.
If they don't dance, then there ain't no friend of mine.
Hey.
What if we just don't dance well?
I'm not telling.
Then I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance.
Oh, there we go.
Those were all
I'm just not
freebies,
dancing on a
chat.
ceiling, okay? We can't dance on a ceiling.
Well, it seems like Rembrandt is the only one who actually made the safe.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Let's start with. Well, it's actually just Demetrius then, I guess, because Chance will have a kind of a different result. Demetrius, you kind of also feel this calm coming over you. You don't know why the information that there's sickness in this forest should calm you down. but apparently this seems like the proper information for you. Yeah, everything's gonna be fine now. You were a bit scared when you didn't know about the illness, but now that you know about the illness, yeah, it's fine. Chance you begin to find a lot of what you see around you highly amusing.
So are we like in sludge or something? Is that what the problem is?
Oh.
So I take a perception look and I'm just looking around, make sure like we're not like in some kind of toxin poison.
You don't see any toxins around or something like that. There are quite a lot of fungus and plants everywhere, and some of them could very well be sending out spores. Nothing that would be visible to the normal eye, though. Some sort of microscopic would probably help you in that regard. There is, however, an increase in the swaying movements from the grassy, zombie-like beings as Felix begins to giggle.
Thanks, Jen Washitashi, for the 5 bits, by the way.
What's going on with this guy?
Yeah, what's so funny, Felix?
Everything right now. Like, do you see what's happening? Like the forest.
Mr. Boldly walks into fire and wants to cut out the heart of disease now. This giggling uncontrollably.
That's not good.
Buddy, I don't know what you're on, but can you hand me some?
Looks down at his feet, pulls up some of the moss. This is what I'm standing on, and hands it to him.
I think we should back him away further out of this area and see if that might improve his condition.
Yeah, I'll grab him and bring him over so he's within range, make sure it's...
Get over here. It tickles when it does for capture. Everyone but Felix can make me a perception test.
That's a D20?
I don't think I have anything for that.
Oh, that's something.
That's mine, and here's yours.
So, for once, Bill, Demetrius is the only one noticing this. You succeed. You notice that some areas of moss and grassy ground is moving in strange ways. It seems like small localized earthquakes or, well, very speedily moving moles, maybe?
Okay.
Moving in your general direction.
Okay, guys, there's movement under the earth. We should probably watch out for that. I don't know what it is.
Ew, is there like a branch or something I can jump up on?
Yes, definitely a lot of
Or
branches.
a rock? Or...
Give me a climbing roll.
All right. We also have acrobatics. Could I use my like parallel bars and fling myself up?
Oh yeah, if you definitely if you have one of those, that works. Let's use one of those skills for once.
I don't get to use them often.
No,
All right.
very nice. Well, like a gymnast, spinning around different.
What the
Come here, Felix. Get over here.
Get him, get him, get him.
Rembrandt, what is your reaction to knowing that the Earth is moving?
Say again.
What is your reaction to hearing that the Earth is moving?
So I've backed him off, right? So, Chant. So I figure once I'm hearing this, I want to move us to like a solid ground, something that maybe mold can't penetrate, something rocky, something, stiff and firm, and then
You begin to.
perceive and see if it follows or if it's still moving or what's it doing, what's the activity.
So you're looking around for some
Safer ground.
That's fine.
I'm bringing Chance with me, and I believe Lustria was still with us. So I say, let's find solid ground. Let's find something sturdy to stand on and see if we can get off of this kind of mold situation.
Excellent. And Felix is laughing and being pulled. April, what is Sophia doing with this information?
I'm doing what Illustria is. Doing my gymnastics to get higher.
Okay, which one are you going to use?
I'll do my backflip.
You want to do a backflip?
I do a backflip.
She wants to do a backflip. Wow.
Yes, well, roll for the backflip. Might as well again use those skills when we have the chance.
Yeah, let's all backflip. Screw it. Let's...
Everybody backflip.
Both flip. We just grab him by the arms and drag him.
I have the ring. His hands in the ring.
Seems the backflip is working.
Yeah, we both backflip so that our hands land on his hands, and then when we twist over and land on our feet, we're grabbing him and pulling his arms one at a time.
So kind of a clumsy Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Clown to safety.
Come on, Felix, let's go.
As the Atlanteans are jumping, backflipping, and trying to pull Felix away, and Rembrandt is looking for some rocky terrain and finding, well, a rock, but not big enough for all of you. And Illustra is apparently a gymnast. All of a sudden, she has many hidden talents. The ground all around you bursts open, and dozens of creatures emerge, all of them looking quite angry, well, kind of hungry really, mostly, and kind of dead-ish. There are wolves, humanoids wearing piecemeal armor that hasn't really just fallen off yet, a couple of badgers.
Badgers? We don't need
Badgers?
Speaking badgers?
And a humanoid about this size.
Oh.
Wearing very dirty green suit. And the remnants of a bowler hat. It's a Sombry leprechaun.
We're always after their lucky charms.
Indeed. Well, I think this is the perfect place to take a small break before we roll initiative.
Oh, good. I need to pour a drink.
So I can... Yeah, exactly. Me too. So 5 minutes break, everyone.
All right.
Alrighty.
So, if you haven't already, and you're enjoying yourself, please hit that follow button down the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And then to go into some of the shows for later this week. Tomorrow we have Tomb of Annihilation. We'll continue with that 5th edition campaign. Then we've got Monday. We'll be back with Star Trek. We've now introduced our new player into that game, and we'll see how they settle in with the rest of the cast. Then we've got Wednesday. We'll be back for the Fabled Ruby campaign, and they have another fight going on with some borosaurs. Is that what they were called? I can't remember. Also, Thursday, we'll be back for Star Wars with our Bruce Gaskins, our GM, as we continue to battle through the jungles of Teth to try to get this information that we need to relieve our debt and get off that silly planet. Then we'll be back again next week, this same time, for the continuation of this campaign. And of course, we're not over, so we don't know where we're leaving off, but it should be interesting. We're fighting leprechauns or negotiating with leprechauns. We haven't figured out yet. Probably fighting though. And just to go over some subscription stuff, for anybody who blesses us with their Prime memberships for 3 months, gets one of our Lords and Ladies of Fate t-shirts. And then if you continue that, you for 6 months, then you get the official Lords and Ladies of Fate etched mug. It's a 32-ounce glass mug. Very nice mug for all of your TTRPG drinking events. And then I believe our Billy Wildstar will be having something going on Tuesday night. I don't know if he's decided specifically what he's playing or who his guest player is going to be. But yeah, he's gonna have something going on, I believe. I think that is it. I think I'm out of plugs. But what I can do in the meantime is share some of my recent acquisitions here. I have this lovely lantern mimic that I've been painting. And I've got some other ones that are going to be fun. Some little creepy dolls. What else did I got to show everybody? I've got this giant teddy bear. So, just a little hint of things to come for the upcoming planning for an upcoming Christmas one shot. So I got a little voodoo doll looking thing. So I've got a lot to paint. Little toy soldiers. Some of these things I can't actually believe that I found anywhere, but I did, so. All right.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a bit harder than with my Warhammer movies.
Yeah, well, it was a pre-made thing I got from Dungeon in a Box, which was very exciting. And then reading through, it's like, oh, we have these toy soldiers that work, fight with this thing. I'm like, where the hell am I going to find miniatures of toy soldiers? Like, this is ridiculous. or flying lamps. I'm like,
that seems
it's very specific stuff. So there's only one thing I haven't been able to find yet, actually, on the list. So we'll see.
What you needing? Otherwise, you can write me. Maybe I have some suggestions. I've been looking around in different mini stores and stuff.
Might be something I have to build, because I could spend some money to build this thing, but if I can find something really similar, it would be better, I think. But yeah, I think
tonight it's a Cedar Ridge High Rye Bourbon, the 20 Barrel Project out of Iowa. It's pretty tasty.
Nice. Alright. And we're rolling initiative now, yes?
Yeah.
Alright, so 2 questions. Actually, 1 question. Does 6 Sense kick in, since we kind of know this is already coming.
It does. You're still in danger the first round, so it does count.
What?
Your sixth sense to something. So that means you.
So Felix has a 12.
Oh, crap. That's too far.
Are we all rolling initiative?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, might as well if you want to do something. Oh, dang! It's fast zombies. $21 for Illustra. 19 for Rembrandt. You don't have any bonuses, Rembrandt?
I do a +2.
+2. Okay, then it's 21.
Oh. What's sixth sense give you? A bonus?
+2 to...
A +6.
+6? Oh, that was +2 to initiative.
Oh no.
Isn't it +6?
Maybe
I think it's
wrote
Yeah,
+6.
it's +6. Remember.
Oh, wait, I got it right here. Yeah, it is +6. I've written down wrong.
Oh my goodness, and that 20 for April.
Okay, Billis. First on
So
the
my
list.
initiative is actually 4 higher then.
Then you want 25. Demetrius has a 26.
No. Sophia has 26.
Oh, Sophia has a 26. Cool.
I
26.
don't remember what mine is. Well, we'll just go with a roll.
Does it get out the book time?
Yep.
It might be.
And Demetrius is oblivious. What? Where? I don't see anything.
As always. Oh, you're not oblivious. You just take your time. You don't move fast. It's you.
He's going
Make sure
slow.
that what you do is what you want.
You're going physically slow, he's going mentally slow.
Well, then let's take it from the top, and it's definitely Sophia. She's on 26 with a natural 20. You go first. There are critters all around you. Most of them are badger to wolf size, but there are a couple of human size too.
There's what around me?
All back.
Oh,
Half dead, shambling things. Let's see.
got me the mind block.
I think this is going to be more of a physical thing than anything.
His nose fell off.
I would say use your super telekinesis to flip a branch around and knock as many as possible away. Knocking them down and causing them to lose an attack is helpful.
Okay. Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, what he said.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis!
You push a group of them away from you. You could take quite a lot of the small ones, or 2 of the human-sized ones if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, however many the branch will hit, that's up to you, but yeah, enough that it will push, I guess, 2 of the human-sized away.
It will cost them an attack, basically, combat-wise. But yeah, cool. Well, then we go on to Illustra with an impressive 25.
Right. So I'm going to just kind of focus on reacting and being protective of my friends, and use my telekinetic force field to basically just protect everybody. So it affects anybody within.
How much
It's
MDC?
50 MDC, and it could be hits anybody within 20 feet of me.
Excellent. And Rembrandt?
So I'm still trying to get Felix in his awakened state, so I'm trying to smack him around. Not hard, but I'm trying to, hey, are you with us? Come on, I need you up. We need you in.
How much
Can I
of
still
an
back him
MA
away?
do you have?
MA, you said?
Yeah.
That is,
Isn't that one of your good ones?
yes, it is. It should be 21.
Cool. That will give you a Trust Intimidate, I think, percentile.
Okay.
That should be on the MA bonus. I can look it up for you if you want to.
Yes, please. Come on, I know you're in there. Come on, Felix. We need you out, man. Come up.
That would be, here we go. 21. 65% chance. So a percentile under 65. Oh.
I should
Dang.
say so.
All right.
Well, apparently everything is still funny, Felix, except for this new guy you met who apparently seems to have everything under control and really has this voice that's very hard to ignore.
Come to my voice. Follow the voice. Come out of it. Come out of it. Are you with us? With us.
I've always been with you.
All right. Hey, listen. I don't know if you noticed, but we just got attacked by a whole bunch of badgers and wolves over here.
Time to play.
You no longer have any minuses in this combat for finding things amusing. You still find things amusing, but it doesn't
I'll be
distract
whistling
you.
while I work.
You have been focused. Cool.
Accidentally added the sheets.
Then we get to the monsters, the zombies of doom. A lot of them will try to attack, you, but instead of you, they will attack a force field. Much to their annoyance. I'm gonna roll a lot of attacks. Let's see. First we have the animals. We have 2 misses. So that leaves us with 8d4. 21 damage to the shield. And the one humanoid who's not been pushed away by a branch is also trying to attack, well, what's behind the force field, but the force field. Gonna go and roll a... No. He will not hit the force field. He will fall over and hit one of the badgers instead. So you are now surrounded by an invisible field of mashed green zombies. Most of them animals, trying to get in. You see small cracks forming here and there in the invisible wall. You can see the cracks, but not the wall. And Illustra, you feel this pressure pushing in on you, knowing that this won't hold forever. And so we move on, well, all the way down. Well, not all the way down. It's Felix on 12.
So Felix is going to activate his.
Felix?
He's going to pull his sword.
Felix.
He's going to pull.
I'm Felix.
Oh, that's right. My bad. I had a crisis of identification there.
Coincidentally, is exactly what he was going to do.
So, yeah, that bow is coming out.
Oh.
And we are going for it for whatever the whatever the largest one that's threatening one of my people.
Well, apparently they're all outside of an invisible wall.
No, I probably can't shoot through said wall.
Well, not without destroying the wall, no. You could probably destroy the wall, but...
Well, then, in that case, I won't pull out the bow, and I will just take my fists and I will walk up to the edge of the that force field, holding my action until one of them gets through, and as soon as one of them does, I'm going to, punt it across the forest.
Fair enough. You stand ready. Definitely. And now, Demetrius, our good Atlantean friend, it is your turn.
I will get to a better position where I can shoot around Felix instead of taking a chance of hitting him. And then I will also put on my invulnerability, which is a tattoo. So I'm going to do a tattoo.
Cool.
Haha, you can't get through the force field.
Apparently there's a zombie rabbit really looking angry at you.
Oh, I'm scared. Just making fun of him.
But yeah, you get into position and activate your powers. You all notice when Demetrius touches his tattoo and his PPE is flowing, that apparently they are energized, these creatures, and begin trying to push further in. This will happen on their turn, of course, but they do seem to be rather excited about the prospect of eating Demetrius.
I'm going to give you indigestion.
Which will move us to the top, which is our other Atlantean friend, Sophia.
Hiya.
I would throw up your telekinetic force field behind her shield to give us extra time.
Oh.
And or just around you and Illustrious.
I'll remember.
Okay.
Did the telekinesis field around everyone as a second?
A double bubble?
A double bubble.
Hey, I have that hat.
Against
I
the
got
Trump.
one of those right down there. I wore it last week.
Well, you can't really see any change, any of you, because again it's invisible, but you are now under a double bubble. And we move on to Illustra.
Okay. So I guess I'm feeling pretty safe now-ish. Safe-ish.
Pretty much. Well, as safe as you can, surrounded by a wall of zombies.
Where is... Alright, so what's the most, like, what am I seeing? Where is everybody at in comparison to me? And
You're all standing pretty much in a circle that's your bubble. In short side, kind of the middle, is Rembrandt standing on a rock. You are all hanging. Well, most of you are still hanging off branches. Some of you are still hanging off branches. And Sophia's right next to you, but you are probably the furthest from the action at this point. When they break through, you will not be there first.
Who's the closest of the enemies?
That would be a badger.
All right. I'm just gonna kind of look at it and just be like, "Get away," and use my telekinetic push.
A small hole in the wall of zombies, kind of like a vacuum, emerges as going pop, and then as other zombies replace you. Lustra noticed, because you have focused on this badger, that outside of the hole, more of these creatures seems to be emerging. Like they're drawn to you. Well, not you precisely, but maybe someone you with.
More to defeat.
Alright, well, I got a 60% chance of knocking it off its feet.
Oh, it is knocked off its feet. It won't even resist with anything because it's basically a zombie. So you do knock a badger off its feet.
Alright.
Which gets us to Rembrandt.
Cool. Just for clarity, is talking part of initiative? Do you have to wait to make suggestions when you're in initiative order, or can you at any time say something?
As long as it kind of fits the situation and it's not long-winded speeches or something like that, it's okay to say something out of your initiative order. I'm cool with that.
Well, I let them know that I don't think the force field is going to last long. It's not a permanent solution. I can lure them away.
Or just put the force field behind me.
I'm also curious, DM, do I have explosives on me? We talked about that earlier.
Yes, you do have some that would be in Rift Earth considered commercial explosives that will hurt SDC structures and stuff like that. You do have some of that.
So, theoretically, can I phase through the force field, get to a spot that's going to mass impact our attackers and hit them with something that's devastating?
You're not sure it's going to actually hurt them, but it is going to blow them apart a bit. The force should do something. Yeah, you know what? Sure. Give me a demolition roll.
Okay. And I think that's a 65. Let me double check. Demolition, 80. That should be easy. Nice.
Very nice. You quickly assemble a small bomb of plastic explosives, put in a detonator, and then you run out into them and just drop it?
Well, I'm letting them know my plan as I'm doing it. You know, I'm assembling this and I'm saying, okay, I can hit them. I can phase through your force field, and I can hit them with, in an area that's going to really impact. I don't want the force of the impact to affect the force field, of course. So I want to not put it where it's going to really do damage to that area, but more to the back end of the area, and maybe just splatter what's in front out of the way. You know, that's what I got.
Are people around agreeing to this plan?
Yeah, I want to get through the force field.
On your turn.
But you know what? Give me a strike roll just to see how well you place it then. Because they can't really hurt you when you're intangible, so...
Okay, you said strike?
Yeah, you have a strike bonus, mainly from combat and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking at it. I'm looking for F3.
And then a d20 plus that. It's not... You will hit no matter what. This is mainly how much of an area you get.
Ooh, nice.
You have to roll high, so...
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
That's a 4.
Everybody dodge!
It's not a failure. It's a 4.
You do place it, like I said, you will place it no matter what. This is more of how well you place it. And you run out, drop it, and run back into the force field.
No.
So you're... Oh, no?
No, I'm running out, and I'm gonna go further past the explosion radius if I can, but use that as a means of luring whatever's away towards me.
Oh, cool,
as
cool, cool,
well.
cool, cool.
Yeah.
Well, then you run out, drop it, and run on, passing all of these zombies with ease.
Mhm.
You do kind of stick to the bomb for a minute or two. It is plastic, so it's kind of sticky, and you get rid of it, but a little bit later than you would like. Which means that your calculations are slightly off when you become tangible again, and you are kind of pushed, not a lot, but enough to kind of throw you off your feet when you get outside the radius of these zombies. But you all notice quite a lot of these zombies blown into the air. None of them seem to be hurt, but they are definitely knocked off their feet, and quite a few of them will not be able to hit the force field in this turn. Good maneuver. I like that.
Thank you.
Then we get to the monsters. That will leave 4 critters. And only 2 of them will actually hit anything. So a further 4 to the force field. Then we get to the humanoid who have gotten up at this point. So they will all try to hit the force field. 2 of them hit the force field. And a further 9 damage. How is the outer shell looking?
It's got 20 left.
Okay. Quite a lot of cracks are forming. Not big ones, still just window cracks. But it does seem to be buckling under the pressure. Cool. Then we go on to Felix. You're muted.
I hit the mute button thinking I was already muted and then just remuted myself. Good job, Chance. There's basically nothing I can do from inside of this force field.
No, not really.
So I will laugh at him. Haha, you can't get to me. Ha 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 ha.
Saving up your attacks. Yep. Fair enough. Cool. And Demetrius.
Well, I'm invincible, and I've got my pistol out. I'm going to...
Famous last words.
Yeah, right? Didn't work much last time. I'm going to hope it works better this time. I'm going to turn to Sophia and Illustra and say, okay, and when we say go, you go ahead and open up the bubble and then shut it behind me and Felix.
Roger.
Okay, so I'm moving towards the bubble with beside Felix.
Mm-hmm.
And then when our turn comes around again, we'll go ahead and go. Felix will go out, and then I'll go out behind him.
Well, we can just say you both have readied an action so that when we get to Sophia and Illustra, who are the first in line for the initiative, when they drop their fields, you can do an action.
There you go.
So that shouldn't be a problem. You both stand ready. And Sophia, aside, well, you don't really need to drop your bubble, I guess, because it's around you and Illustra, so... No, it was around all of you. It was a double bubble. Right, sorry, my bad. The double bubble. Do you want to remove the double bubble? Well, part of the double.
She can actually just open up an opening in the bubble. She has that much control over it.
Oh, cool.
So you can just open up. Yeah. She
Uh,
opens.
Aside
She's
from
saying
that,
yes.
do you want to do anything else aside from that?
If she can, she can. She will.
Yeah, I don't count it as an action. That's fine. It's basically a move equivalent. So,
So then I would have her probably.
if there's anything else you want to do,
My sister.
No, you're not going to help that way. Go down. Do telekinetic acceleration attack, and just have rocks from the ground shoot up and at them.
I want to do a telekinetic acceleration attack.
Very well done.
Woohoo!
I'm wondering whether she wanted that or not.
well, rocks begin to fly outside. Chaotix are all around. Fair enough. Illustra?
I will drop the bubble and allow these gentlemen to
Yep.
leave.
Diving in, screaming.
Outside of that, I don't think I'm going to do much else. Other than just say, go, 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 go.
Cool.
Go, got to go.
Well, Demetrius and Felix, would you please make me an attack roll, both of you?
There's mine for my pistol.
You hit.
Excellent.
They do
Finally.
not touch. They cannot touch.
They cannot what?
They cannot touch.
Okay, well this is
Also a hit.
the wizard. What is it called? TW, Techno Wizard pistol. That is the thunder gun. So it does extra damage to supernatural evil and such, which I'm guessing these are, right?
Oh yes.
Okay. Let me get to my card.
And Felix, you can roll me some damage as well.
So
You definitely
clarification on that. We know that my bow, when nearly aligned, does double damage. My damage just from my abilities is 2d6, but I have a fetish that gives me an extra 1d6. Would that be doubled to an extra 2d6 for a total of 4? Or would that be doubling my full attack of 3d6 to 6? I would go with probably the fetish as it gets doubled, not my base attack. But I'm happy for it. It's up to you.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's go big.
25 as I football punt, just boosh, whatever one is, little one in front of me, just boom.
Yes. Yes.
And my hand cannon goes off.
And then I laugh and squeal and giggle
20
as the
damage.
pig flies. Well, I guess a rabbit flies.
Very well. So 25 and 20 damage.
And it
You
hits
both-
also casts a thunderclap.
One more time, Demetrius.
So when the Techno Wizard pistol, whenever it hits and strikes, it goes off with also a spell of thunderclap. So there will be, I believe it's -8 to strike, and I think they lose a round.
Oh, they are immune to fear, so it doesn't really work on them.
Oh, okay.
There's zombies, but you do enough damage to shoot and punch your way through several of them in one attack.
Nice.
You see some of them breaking in half, being evaporated, just lying down and moving no more, as you leave the security of the force fields. And notice that they very much are in agreement with you that you should be the one fighting them. They move away from the force field to surround the two of you. Well, mostly in this case Demetrius, but there's reasons
2
for
on
that.
10. We outnumber them.
So, a couple of them has followed Rembrandt, but not a lot of them. Most of them seems to be following you for a couple of seconds until they break out of the force field and then turn to them when they apparently hear the loud thunder. This attracts them for some reason. So, let's go to the... Well, that was...
Mall.
See, that was Illustra, so then it's Rembrandt. It's your turn. Two of them, one wolf size, one human size, is near you.
Now you mentioned earlier a leprechaun, right?
Yes.
Is that still? Do we lose sight of that, or is that still around?
It's still in the shambles attacking Demetrius and Felix.
Now I want to focus on that because I'm assuming badgers and wolves don't normally hang out together, so something's probably driving them to be buddy buddy. And I'm thinking maybe something like a leprechaun might have a magic to perform this kind of feat that we're seeing here. So I'm thinking. But
you do notice that all of these creatures are kind of dead. They are half melted. Some of them are lacking body parts. They very much look zombified, including the leprechaun.
Okay. So then there might be something else that's driving this. I don't know. All right, we don't have enough to go on for. But I was still. I guess. How close are the ones that are following me?
Well, about 5 meters from you. If you can outrun them easily. So you can basically just stay a little bit away from them if that's what you want.
Okay. How about I do that? How about I stay intangible, use prowl, perhaps, and wilderness maybe, and kind of like try to lose them. Is that possible?
Fair enough. Yeah, you could do that. They don't seem like they're very smart beings, so they're kind of easy to run around with. I would like you to do me a perception check while you're doing that.
Okay, and that's just a standard D20.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Nice.
Remember, D20s have to be high.
You forget. Okay, so I don't.
You do notice something, not a lot in this case, but 8 is enough to notice some things. That's the lowest difficulty of a perception. Most of the hidden things will be on 12 and at that level.
Okay.
But 8 gives you the idea that there is something else around, and you think it might be stalking you.
Oh. Well, I have.
But we'll get back to you. You do your run around, and you can think about what that might be. As we return to the monsters, the 2 monsters by you, Rembrandt, will just do what you want them to do. We'll try to do the swarming ones instead. We have 5 critters trying to gouge out the eyes of you, Felix. Would you make me 2 parry rolls? One above 12 and one above 8?
I sure will. Let me check my bonus to parry, which is a 5. 1d20 plus 5. That one did not work, and neither of them are above 12.
Well, the first one was the 12 one because that was the first dice, so that one doesn't parry, but the second one parries the 8, so that
Then
does
yeah.
parry. So you get one of them chewing on you, and you get the mighty 2.
As I laugh at it. You caught with
Yes, and Demetrius, 5 of them are also attacking you. Let's see how many of them attack. Oh, well, hit you. Oh, a bit better. You have to parry 4 of them. First one 19, then 8, then 8, then 11.
All right. Shall I just do 4 rolls or just 1 roll will cover all 4?
You can do 4 rolls, then we can just compare them. That should be the same.
I'm going to let's see here. Plus 5 to parry.
There is now a zombie hamster, by the way. A giant miniature space hamster.
Is that one?
That one does not parry because that's a 19, so 1 hit so far. Next one. That does parry. Next one.
You can also just hit up in order to do whatever your last roll is. Instead of having to type it out every time, just
Really?
up will cycle through your last messages.
Awesome. Okay, thank you for letting me know that.
And definitely a parry.
So just up
Is the arrow up
or page up.
or page up?
I think the arrow.
Arrow
Aha!
up. Ah.
And definitely a parry. So 1 hit. That will be a d6 damage. 2 damage to you as well, as you are also knocked upon by these, well, evil looking, but really just kind of annoying zombies. You are both covered by zombies trying to gnaw at you. Dimitris, you notice that the place that it wants to gnaw is around your tattoos and your gun for some reason.
Hmm?
There, well, all of them are there and cool. Yes, excellent. Then we move on to Felix.
I am going to punt a couple more of them. The one that's on my arm, I'm going to grab it and smash it into the nearest one. That's what I'm going to do.
Cool.
You son of a...
Cool.
Now who's a squished goo paste?
I do the same thing with my gummy bears. I'll pull the head off of one and smash it into the other one.
Exactly. And I forgot my bonus already. It is 3. 1 die 20 plus 3. I think I did okay.
That's definitely a hit. Give me double damage.
6 die 6 times 2. 44. 4, 5, 3, 3, 3, 4.
You miter your way through a lot of them. You just cut and paste your way through a ton of these creatures. Enough that you are actually not covered in zombies. There are still zombies around you, but they're more trying to approach you. Demetrius even can see through this carpet of monsters. A lot of them seems to be dead, but it doesn't seem to deter the rest of them. They does seem to thin out their ranks quite a lot.
Hmm. All right, we're going to have to smash a lot more in a big way.
Well, that brings us to Dimitri. Oh, a plasma grenade would be wonderful at this point. You probably will.
That reminds me of a quote from a game that I was playing when I was a kid. I parry with my face.
I headbutt the grenade. Well, Demetrius, what do you want to do?
I am going to, I guess, line up as many as I can and blow a hole through all of them, you know?
Please, sit in line, please. One at a time. Await your turn.
Please.
Do me a strike roll.
It didn't like that. Let me try it again.
Well, you hid.
And it is. That's. Hold on.
Huh?
Times 10. How did I get a 9?
You didn't. That's a d20 roll. It just says 1d6 times 10. It just didn't roll
You
anything.
forgot the slash roll.
Oh, that's right. That's a whole lot better. 60
Fatumsh!
and another.
Even without a
thunderclap.
crit, you still did more
mighty
damage than
thunderclap,
me.
one might say. A mighty thunderclaps erupts from whatever is left from the covering, and you Demetrius, you just kind of, in desperation, shoot up, which kind of generates this giant blast of energy and just throws all these zombies all around and pulverizing them. You now stand in, I would call it a moat of dissolving body parts.
Build a wall with the dead.
Chew on this, suckers!
A few of the smallest critters, zombified critters, are still kind of moving towards you fearlessly. You dispatch them with ease. Make me perception rolls. Except for Rembrandt, who has already made me. Well, make me another perception roll, Rembrandt. It's fine. Give me perception rolls all around. You get a perception roll. You get a perception.
I think I got a 24 on that one.
Much better this time.
Yeah, you both notice so far. See if anyone else does. No. You.
Oh, see, mine. This is Hey, I am.
No.
Yeah, I didn't do it, but it still works. That'll be plus like 5 for your my number. I think
No. No. No.
roll d20.
No, no succeeds roll here, no.
No to kid. Yes. That is again quite fitting. I love when the dice work with you story-wise. Felix and Rembrandt kind of at the same time notice some other creature approaching, getting ready to pounce.
Oh, good. Now I can use my bow.
Rembrandt, you already noticed something was off, so you get no minuses.
And
Felix, you in the first round of this will have some minuses. We'll get back to that. But you both notice a tiger-size creature of teeth, claws, and just, well, pure malevolence about it. I will reveal it in your direction.
An armored Charizard?
It's got big fangs.
Sharp teeth, pointed teeth.
You know what?
It growls and pounces on you both. And this
Ooh.
is where we'll end
Oh!
the game for tonight.
All right.
That was part 1 of Predator and Pain.
Okay. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight, cast and audience. We did our plugs for the shows earlier, so basically just gonna look into a quick raid. Let's see what we got here.